Why, hey, pets, it's me, Dr. Beck. I can't do it. I can't do it for this. No. I've already offended everybody. Hello then folks, welcome back to a new series starting on the channel, Magpies Millions, and that's right, Newcastle United then, they are the team that we are managing, the famous black and white, and well, there's lots of talk that Newcastle will be getting a potential takeover, and well, with that in mind, let's see how I would do if that were the case. So I think the important thing for Newcastle fans going forward is that if they are to have a takeover, the key thing there is that it's not Mike Ashley. So meet our new owner, not Mike Ashley. We've got two chairmen that I've put in place, two Geordie men that I think you'll probably recognise. It's Declan Donnelly and Anthony McPartland. They'll be taking the roles of chairman throughout this season. I'll of course be conversing with them and maybe not Mike Ashley throughout this series. Of course, there's a little bit of talk over the potential owners of Newcastle United. I don't really want to give them any kind of notoriety, so that's the reason. And as again, I think the important thing with Newcastle fans, but before anything else, is that it's just not Mike Ashley. It is someone that's going to pump money into this club. So let's see how much money we've given Newcastle just to start things off as we can work towards becoming Premier League champions. Oh, that's the goal, yes, viewers, and maybe beyond. So financially, you can see there, 300 million. You may argue there should be more, you may argue there should be less, but we're going with 300 million to start things off with 150 million pounds to spend. Now, in season one, I've got a target really, because we've obviously, with the way football is at the moment, it's very difficult to start a new season, not knowing really what that season's going to look like. So we're going to recreate the season that's just happened, or is still maybe continuing. We're starting this during that thing that's happening during the 2020. If you're watching in the future, you know what it is. YouTube don't like to talk about what it is, but we all know what it is. So the Newcastle squad will be of that started, or at least some of the January update on Football Manager 2020, and of course then you'll see the squad in just a moment. We'll talk through everything in regards to that. But 150 million, quite conservative to begin with, and we'll see how we get on in that transfer window. I'm going to say right now, these videos are going to happen every other day, but if this video hits a massive 3,000 likes, oh yeah viewers, we're setting targets early, 3,000 likes, transfer budgets, transfer window, what we've done with that, we will talk through tomorrow viewers, that quickly. Oh yeah, if there's demand viewers, I'm going to fulfill the demand. Again, I'm sure you'll have your own thoughts on whether the financials should be more or should be less, but obviously this will be a continual thing. It's a sugar daddy owner, and the database is available for you to download in the description. Shout out to the FM editor Steve for helping me with this one. If you want to play this yourself, you can, the exact way that I'm playing it. Of course, you'll be the manager though, it won't be me. So that, yeah, but it'll be not Mike Ashley, and Anton Deck will be the chairman. Oh yeah, that's what we're doing, viewers. If you want to do your own Geordie accent, if you want to do your own Geordie accent throughout, you can do. I mean, to me, it's a little bit like Geordie Tourette's, viewers. That's how I'm sort of approaching it. Now, of course, we've seen some big takeovers in the Premier League in recent years, and to go along with those, really, they've had to battle the likes of FFP. So if you just go back to the finances here, very, very brief, you can see FFP there. You've got to fulfill this, otherwise you start to have points docked, and it can get pretty ugly. So what we've had to do, viewers, in terms of sponsorship, well, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Some one-year deals there. A stadium deal worth £50 million, not by any sports clothing brands or, just sports brands in general. Let's assume it's sponsored by Saturday Night Takeaway, shall we? Why not? There's a general sponsor in there as well of 50 million and a kick sponsor of 30 million, giving us 130 million pounds pumped into the coffers. I assume anyone that came into Newcastle United that was looking to spend big money would do something similar to this. Again, you may well argue for more or less, but I have to find some middle ground, and I have to chatting with people in my Discord server. This is kind of what we came to the conclusion of. So hopefully you're all right with it. If you're not, then it's tough, isn't it, viewers? So far then, 300 million in the balance. Of course, that will go down over the course of the season. They've got £300,000 left on the wage budget to bring in a few star players in this first year. I'm very aware that in this first year, of course, we've got loan signings and players that have recently been brought in. So in the first year, it's quite difficult. As I said before then, goal for this season, just be better than Steve Bruce, Ben, with 150 million. As we record this, after 29 games, Newcastle were 13th. So let's give that as a marker. Let's just finish higher than 13th, viewers. Higher than 13th. 100, yeah, we should do. I know we should do. I'm looking at this Newcastle squad, though. Thank God I've got 150 million. And I'm honest, let me making notes. So I've got ideas for players that I think are definitely good enough for the side, and players that I don't necessarily think are good enough for the... Most of them, viewers. Most of them is the answer. Look, I want Newcastle to win their first trophy since, I've got it written down, 1955, FA Cup. Come on, boys. I don't think Newcastle fans want the world. I don't think they expect to be winning trebles year in, year out, but I think they want to be competitive at a level where they should maybe be. And I think with the Geordie Nation behind them and me as manager, well, there's a problem there. Yeah, so yeah, that's That's not giving anyone hope, is it? That's not giving anybody hope. All I can promise is that I'll do my best to make Alan Shearer, Bobby Robson, Jackie Milburn, the likes of Kevin Keegan proud, viewers. That's the end goal by all of this, and hopefully we can do that. If at any point Sunderland are above me, Sunderland fans enjoy that, and wow, this has gone wrong. So looking through the Newcastle squad, if we were to play a system like this, for example, if you were to play a 4-2-3-1 system, let's assume that we are. These are the positions where I think we probably need a little bit of work. And before I go on, let me clarify this. The long staffs are definitely part of the plan, but in terms of right now, I think getting in someone who's a little bit more experienced and of the calibre that I think Newcastle fans would want to see in their starting 11 week in, week out. This is kind of what we're working with. The problem we've got with this is that 3 of them are on loan, viewers. Bentaleb, Willems and Nazaro, all on loan, but I think are good enough to play for this Newcastle side alongside Jamal Lascelles, of course, and Sat Maximo are here full-time. And Almiron as well, but he's currently on holiday at the moment. On holiday? Oh, I've got you. He's on holiday, viewers. Williams and Danny Rose can certainly fill in that role. Danny Rose is a very accomplished left-back, but currently, at the start of this save, has got a little bit of an injury to contend with. So once he gets over that, maybe he'll be back in instead, actually, of Williams. Yeah, maybe that then. And again, the first season, we're just trying to finish higher than 13th, viewers, so it's definitely doable. So I mentioned next episode, if we hit that like target, you'll see it tomorrow, if not Wednesday, that we're looking for certain roles. And based on what I've come up with here, strikers are certainly something we're looking for. I'm not interested in the ones that are interested, viewers. I'm interested in the ones that are doubtful, that can be bought by money, viewers. That's what I'm interested in. Let's up this package to world. Come on. Who wants in? Who wants in, boys? So looking through this list, again, turn your eyes to it. Are there any names here that you think, of course, leave your suggestions. I'll be doing my transfer window tonight as this video goes up. So, yeah, suggestions are certainly welcome. I'll be reading through players that you think are attainable. That's the important thing. Of course, the end goal is to have Messi here, Ronaldo, Mbappe. That's the end goal, viewers. That's a front 3. Almiron will be gutted. And it's just how easily can I turn Newcastle into a mid-table, and of course championship side at recent times, into a powerhouse of English football, winning that title, competing with the big 6, and then obviously the bigger ones within that, Liverpool. Come on. It's fair enough, isn't it? It's fair enough. That's not going to make Newcastle fans like me anymore, is it? All those matches we've had against them. It's all right, look, from a Scouser to a Geordie. All right, you've seen through me. So strikers then, there's obviously a few names that we could look at. Would we go after the likes of Kevin Volland, viewers? Moussa Dembele, of course, Iheanacho. There's options there. Or are you thinking bigger? Are you thinking bigger, viewers? Goalkeepers are a similar story. Onana at Ajax seems like the sort of player I would love to be able to get, so he may well be on my list. But again, goalkeepers, any recommendations, bring them to me. The same goes for centre-backs. Are there players on there that you'd like to see maybe come in at Newcastle? Again, Ruben Dias. I'm basically saying players that I would think would be fantastic, viewers. And central midfield, a similar story. Worrying for me that 2 of the Arsenal starting players are interested in joining Newcastle. Reputation hasn't even been changed, but clearly they know that we've got the money. The starting reputation for Newcastle is as it is right now. You could well argue that it would go up based on the fact that, of course, they've got a lot more money, but I think that money should still be able to attract some big names. And I want it to sort of have a little bit of progression. When I think about Manchester City, when they first sort of got their millions, they signed Gareth Barry quite quickly. Now I've annoyed Aston Villa fans. Oh, God, it's getting worse. But all in all, it should be quite a fun adventure. It'll be interesting to see how many people we try and sell in the summer, as well as bring in some big names, of course. If you're looking forward, then, to this series and the idea that we've got behind it, do leave your comments in the comment section, and of course do drop a like if you want to follow the series. Make sure you subscribe, for heaven's sake. You need to see this as it progresses, and again, it might be out more than every other day, but yeah, I'm aiming for every other day, and if you get more, then you get more. We love with care then. From me, as mentioned, until next time, I'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye. This should be fun, or I'll be sacked after 3 months.